And now recording. What is going on, everybody? We've got Chris, and I'm joined
by Paul.
And we have a special agenda, similar, but not quite the same as our other Retro War. Retro Wars PS3 top JRPGs of all time. Now, for this, the rules are pretty much the same as our previous one, but Paul is going to run them down for you. What are the three rules that we got here?
So, we only accept one entry from series. We do not discuss the Metacritic or the sales numbers as an argument. And both of us can lock in one pick to be in top 10, no matter what.
Okay, so in layman terms, you can't have 4 of the Tales of series landing on the list, only 1. You cannot use any type of aggregate score to define a game's quality. And there is one freebie. You can't take this away from me. It's going to go to the final round no matter what.
Yep, and we're talking JRPGs only, so nothing. If it's not JRPG, if it doesn't look or smell like JRPG, it's not going to be on this list.
So I'll touch on some exclusions. I think we naturally kind of avoided these, but just to put it on paper in case anybody was being real strict about it, we are not including action RPGs. That would be on a different list. These would be games in the Dark Souls series, even like Dragon's Dogma, Devil May Cry. Like, there's some level up components. It's a role playing game, sure, but it's mostly hack and slashy stuff. No shooters.
It's not JRPG.
Correct.
I mean, we'll one day have to make best PS3 game, and then we can talk about this.
I don't have enough time to make that.
Well, let's focus on today, then.
Let's see. So, to give you a little bit of the format, we'll start with listing all the games that we'll consider to add to the list. So, we're hoping to land some. Ideally, we both have 10 games, and it lands at 20. I'm not quite so sure about that, but as long as we have more than 10,
right?
That helps. If we had listed more than one game in a franchise, so if I listed Tales of Xillia 2 and you listed Tales of Vesperia, we have to then, the first thing we do once we have the list going is we compare those two and remove any games that are in the same series until we only have one left.
Yep.
All right, and then we just basically keep versing games until we land with one, right?
It enters the Hall of Fame of the Scrubcast.
It enters the Scrubcast Hall of Fame, yes.
All right, so I guess we're good to go.
Okay, so who wants to start?
I can start.
Okay, yeah. You want to make sure you get all the obvious ones. You're gonna grab your
yeah. I don't consider Okay, maybe do we talk about games we also exclude now? Because yes, Persona 5 does exist on PS3, but it came out in 2016.
It did come out pretty late.
No,
but if it exists,
no one played it on PS3. People played it on PS4. Like, that's the reality of it, right?
Okay, so you won't allow a game that could have kind of existed or does exist on the console if it wasn't native to the console. We're saying.
I feel like this is like there's a better version of Persona 5 than the PS3 version that came out at the same time.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
That's fair.
So I would exclude Persona 5 because of that.
Okay, and then while we're on the topic, because we did briefly in conversation, one of my examples was a Tales of Vesperia. We are going to exclude this game because it originally released on Xbox 360. Okay, so we will exclude Persona 5 and Tales of Vesperia and games like that. Now, I'm not sure which on this list, if any, other than those, were in that category. I'm looking at my list and I don't think that there are any.
Okay. Well, if they are, we'll get to them. So.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay,
so Paul, start us off.
Nice and easy. Tales of Grace's F.
Okay. An excellent choice from the Tales of series. Not quite as good as the Tales of Vesperia, but better console for sure. All right, I'll take mine. I'll take Valkyria Chronicles. With Alicia and what was his name? Something Gunther or something. He had a goofy name.
He did. Yes, he did. Yeah. Okay.
You okay? So
Eternal Sonata.
Eternal Sonata, great choice. It was the very top of my list. Ready for mine?
Oh yeah.
Resonance of Fate.
We'll leave the discussion for after we're done with the list.
Okay.
Final Fantasy 13.
Which one?
For now, the first one.
Good choice. I will go Tales of Xillia.
I will say Tales of Xillia too.
I'll drop this on here. Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel.
Whoa. Okay. Legend of Heroes. What?
Trails of Cold Steel.
Of Cold Steel. Okay. A dark horse.
It's more honorable mention. I was hoping that maybe you had had some time into it.
Never even heard of it. Ni no Kuni is what I would say.
Okay. To be honest, all of mine after that would be pretty much joke entries. Another honorable mention would be like South Park, Stick of Truth.
Yeah, not a JRPG, but it kind of counts. Yeah, I guess
It was a turn-based. It fit the it fit the mold. It was an American game, but yes,
it's in the spirit of the category.
In the spirit,
yeah. You know, I will say Final Fantasy 13 too, just for funsies for now.
Okay, just to have the conversation.
Just to have the conversation.
Okay. How many do we have on this list? Are we over 10? Did we make it?
It's 11.
Perfect. How many do you have left?
I'm almost done.
Okay, you pour them on, baby.
This is my last one. It's White Knight Chronicles.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it. I don't have any other ones.
You know, before we go down this list, while I was trying to like refresh my memory type of thing and, you know, go through some catalog stuff and figure it out, there are a lot of JRPGs on the PS3. Not as many as PS2, by the way, which PS2 holds the Guinness Book of World Records, just so for the most strategy RPGs. But I did notice that there was a reoccurring publisher that kept coming up over and over again, a mighty amount of times. And they are also in the Guinness Book of World Records for apparently multiple things. I don't know. This one, the one that I found was most prolific publisher of strategy RPGs.
Okay.
I don't know how that can be a Guinness record.
Anything can be.
But do you know what company that is? I can give you a couple titles from them.
Is it like NIS
Mugen
or something?
Souls. It sure is.
Yeah.
NIS America. Nippon Ichi Software.
Don't they do this Gaia stuff? Right?
Oh yes. Yeah. How many games do you think that they have strictly PS3 RPG? It's actually significantly less than you would think.
I'm guessing like 8.
But significantly more than you might think.
Okay. 16.
More than you think.
Give it to me. I have no idea.
21.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. And that was also, I removed things that were ported, like if they were Vita, and then they got dropped over. Like they either had to be like a simul release and all that. But I can give you some. And my favorite thing about the NIS stuff is they will gaslight you into thinking that you've never owned a PlayStation 3. Like I'm reading some Atelier Rorona, the Alchemist of Arland, Hyperdimension Neptunia, Artonalica Koga, Knell of Arceal.
You played an Artonalico game?
I did. I played PS2. I believe I actually did play Koga, Artonalica Koga.
You don't want to put it on
played
the list?
Just like Grandia 3.
Okay.
And it was pretty whack.
You know, Tales of Zestiria also came out on PS3, but I feel like it's kind of the same as like the Persona argument. When I think of Zestiria, I think of PS4.
I'm trying to remember which console I first played it on.
I'm pretty sure me and you played it together on PS4.
Same.
Yeah. Yeah, that came out 2015, so pretty fucking late for PS3.
What about Berseria? That was 4, though.
Yeah,
Berseria was definitely 4.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. I did enjoy going down a bit of a rabbit hole. As I'm looking at all these games, I'm like, what the hell is Atelier Maruru, the Apprentice of Arland? Under Night in Birth, EXE late. What is that? But they did like a Dragon's Crown. But now this is the publisher, not the developer.
I have a question.
Very important. Yes.
I have a few more games that I'm gonna ask you why they're not on this list. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Star Ocean: The Last Hope? No, you don't think it's worth?
I thought I already put it on the list.
No,
I'm sorry. So yes, we have 12. Star Ocean: The Last Hope is that's an entry.
I don't know how to feel about this one, but you just hear me out.
Okay.
Kingdom Hearts 1.5 HD Remix and 2.5 HD Remix came out on PS3. That's the first time that people, other than in Japan, could play the final mixes versions of those games. How do we feel?
Not great.
Yeah, right.
Not great. It's a little. It's too many chains there. Too many.
Yeah. Like they have just bonus content, but they're not different games. So
yeah, this is like 6 Ways to Kevin Bacon or something. You know what I mean? Like, well, Matoy Sakuraba composed for this thing, and he also composed for this one, and then yeah, it's a little. We're going down the chain a little too far. Chris, it feels a little bit more like the Tales of Vesperia argument.
Yeah,
it exists on that platform. But
I wish we could include it. You know, 360 had some stupid amount of exclusives of JRPGs early on, like
correct, all around the same area, the 2007, 2008.
Yeah, that's when they made that big push to try to get on the Japanese market, and you played.
That was when console wars were a real thing. That was when it actually made sense. I made fun of my best friend at the time for having an Xbox 360 while secretly cherishing that he had it so I could play Tales of Vesperia.
Yeah.
Because I would never buy one. I had no interest in the Xbox consoles.
I didn't have one, but objectively 360 was the only time Xbox was better than PlayStation.
I might agree.
Yeah. Like PS3 was not
the best console not they ever come out with.
Let me put it this way. I was in high school. Nobody was buying PS3. Everyone was buying Xbox to play Call of Duty. Like that's what was happening. So
I think it was also a shift. You know, JRPGs are not. Do you know anybody who plays games like that now? I don't.
No.
I
mean, I keep playing them, but that's about it.
I don't even think I can.
You have to.
I don't. Well, I might, but that's a different cast. That's related to a different conversation we were having.
What about any Disgaea games? None of those. I didn't play any of the PS3 ones, to be honest.
So. 3 would be the only one that would make the list.
But did you?
I didn't remember my time with it. I thought you were going to pick it.
Yeah, I didn't play it, so I didn't want to just say it's good.
I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember playing it. I think I played it. I put a little bit into it, but I did not. To me, 1 and 3 blend together. They were the same game. I think the newer one included like all sorts of weird elemental properties. It was just a little bit more in depth of the same concepts.
Yeah,
like, I would be happy to include it. I just don't. It's not going to make a top 10 because we haven't put enough time into it. I guess.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Okay. All right, so I guess that's all the games. So we got 12.
We still got a lot. We got a lot to talk about here.
Okay.
So first off, let's get this Tales of Nonsense going.
Yeah, that's the big discussion, right? Which one do you keep? Because if Vesperia is on this list, that's easy keep, but it's not.
Yeah, it is not.
Okay, let's start with Grace SF, because I think that's the first one.
It is.
I remember the story was like, wasn't that like with the vampire guy, kind of?
Yep, friendship. It was the story of friendship.
Yeah.
His name was Robert or something, and yeah, he became like, you start out in childhood type of thing. The village gets attacked.
Yep.
Robert, and then you grow up, and then Robert kind of turns into a bad guy.
Yeah.
Vampire bad guy, and starts stealing all the water from the world for some reason.
Sure. It's like a very kiddish story.
It's one of those things where I remember losing the immersion because the dude literally sucked all the water off of a continent, and the entire party is like, we got to kill that guy. And Asbel, I think his name was like, no,
we can't.
He's my friend.
Yeah.
All the Tales games have a theme. I don't know if you remember that when they would all come out, they would have, and that one was friendship.
Yeah.
Take that as you will. One thing I will say about Tales of Grace's F is that it potentially had the best combat system out of all of the Tales games.
I do remember having good time with the combat in that one. Yeah.
Very good time with the combat.
Yeah.
Other than that, side content was actually pretty strong too. For that one, most of my drawbacks would be the characters. I did not enjoy the characters that much. Even the playable characters, basically you would play as Asbel. Shit, who else did? Oh my god, now I have to remember these guys.
You don't. Like, it's okay.
Well, I feel like you do. No?
No, if we don't remember them, they were not very memorable. Like, it's fine.
But it does help when you're talking about it, rather than saying the main character over and over again.
Well, there's the guy with the blue hair.
Sophie was the girl.
Yeah, Sophie sounds right.
The little alien girl. Yeah, you find a girl in a field for some reason, and then you adopt her as a teenager in an RPG. Makes sense, right? Girl with amnesia in a field, doesn't look like anything you've ever seen. You're like, yeah, just stick with us forever.
The blue hair guy is Hubert.
Yep.
Hubert.
He had you got him way, way late in the game. I remember that being one of my bigger gripes as well. I believe he was the last character that you got control of.
I think Richard will be the last one, right? Don't you get to control him? Or maybe it was like DLC?
Probably DLC.
Yeah.
Well, you get him early in the game before he turns on you, but that's like a Tales. They did that in Symphonia, where you get Kratos when you start, and then he turns.
I feel like there was definitely some portions of the game where you play with him again, but maybe that was DLC. Like, it's very possible.
It could very well be DLC, or I could just be misremembering it. I think his moveset was very simple. Like, it was a weaker version of the main character. What about Tales of Xillia? You play as the what was it? Librarian or something?
I played as the chick, and you play as the guy. I like the combat in that one. I feel like that one we did a lot of like side bullshit in it. Personally, like, from my memory, I enjoyed that game more than Tales of Grace's F. I thought the characters were cooler.
I may have as well. Was that the one with the turtle boss that we spent like
it might be
5 hours on?
It's either that one or Berseria. I don't remember which one.
It's one of the two.
Yeah.
That may be one of the most memorable fights in a game in my entire life was the turtle shopkeeper guy that spoke with like a New York. He's like, listen to me, a turtle. I'm gonna stab you real good. Like, he had like that weird like Mugsy accent.
Yeah. And
he was like a one-shot dude. It was pretty wild. Yeah, that's a tough one.
I don't know. What about Xillia 2? That one I don't remember.
I didn't play it.
Okay.
I was fine with the end of Xillia too, but I enjoyed Xillia a lot. Probably more than Grace's F.
I will say, because it's our list, like, we didn't play Xillia 2, I think we have to cut it.
We have to cut it.
Okay. So, Xillia or Grace's? I guess I would vote Xillia, to be honest. I think Grace's, I really did not like any of the characters or the story. Like, it was pretty lame.
It was very lame. Yeah, okay. You know what? I think we're in agreement.
Okay.
I think Xillia takes it.
All right, that wasn't as bad as I thought.
Easy one.
Yeah.
Easy one.
So we got Final Fantasy 13 and 13 too, that one of them needs to be cut.
You know what? You can make all the arguments for them.
Okay.
I did not play Lightning Returns. I played 13.
Okay.
I also did not beat it. I gave up after the 40-hour tutorial.
There wasn't much game left after that, so...
When the game finally gave me control, I was so defeated. I was just like, you know what? I'm good. I don't need to see anymore. That's where I landed on 13.
Okay. My memory of 13 is as follows. Obviously, Lightning was my main. I only upgraded her weapon. I ignored everyone else. I ignored any other upgrades. I literally just dumped everything to upgrading her weapon. Because the way
base weapon?
Yeah, her base weapon. I never changed it. Like, there's no reason to change her base weapon ever. I beat the whole game just doing that.
No, it sounds like what was that game? Artonalico, the melody of whatever.
Yeah.
Take off all your weapons so you can get more points in the battle.
To this day, when people say that 13 had good combat, I'm like, what the fuck did you guys play? Because it's not a good combat system. Not to mention
No,
they
and
have like autopilot, like you can just
it's
like
all autopilot.
yeah.
No matter how you try to. I mean, I think that they had like a kind of like 7 where you could stop the timer, but once you hit an action, they didn't just start doing it, like, it would kind of go on their own.
Yeah.
It was
I
fine. I don't know. I did not enjoy my time with
It
it
was
at
boring
all.
as shit. Like the combat
Yes,
system was boring. Like that was the worst part about it.
and
So
there was no there. I don't know how much was there any side content. I did not experience any when I played, but I only played the
um
tutorial, the 40-hour tutorial,
there's a
so
little
I wouldn't
bit.
know.
There's a little bit, but not a lot. It's mostly pretty fucking straightforward. Go for the story. There's like I think like some side monsters, and that's about it.
I was looking for any of that stuff because yeah, there was no challenge to the combat, and I didn't even do what you did and kind of like exploit dumping into one thing. I just kind of I looked at the skill sets. I'm like, this seems powerful, and I was using like a bunch of haste. I had the Saz, I think his name was.
Yeah, yeah.
I had him
The
and
chocobo guy.
the yeah, and the girl with the antler stick.
Bang.
No, nope, the other girl with the antler. She fought with a literal set of antlers or a giant antler that she held up. I'm not making this up. Jesus, you're gonna make me look. Her name is Vanille. That's what her name is.
Vanille. Yeah.
And I'm just making sure that I'm remembering it correctly. Pull up an image of her holding a giant antler stick. Yep.
Yeah, you're telling me you didn't want to play as Hope?
The douchiest kid that ever existed.
He sucked
Outside
so
of
much.
Snow, the main character.
Snow was not great either, but he was better than Hope.
Yeah, Hope was just like a whiny little bitch. You just wanted that guy. You wanted the kid to shut up, but also at the same time, they like made it really kind of tragic. Like, didn't his mom like die because Snow like
Yeah.
knocked her off a cliff during like a
I don't
really
know if
harebrained operation or something?
I don't
I'm
remember the
really trying to
details.
remember the story, but
I can't speak on details, but yes, sure.
it was all in the tutorial, so I know.
Also, yes, the tutorial, like, you say 40 hours, and it's a bit of an exaggeration, but it's not really. Like, it's fucking
Realistically, it
ridiculous.
was at least 25 hours.
Yeah, it's insane. And it's not really, it doesn't change after that. Like, it's the same game the whole time. Nothing ever changes in that game.
No, what they did, and I call it the tutorial because they did not give you party control. So what they were doing was they were splitting you into parties of 2 or 3 in different areas when you got separated.
Yeah.
So you'd have like a different combination because they wanted you to try out all the characters.
Yep.
You know, that's good. You know,
Yeah.
you have well-designed characters when you have to force players to play as them. That's when players don't decide of their own volition or seek characters out because they look or seem cool. Instead, you have the lamest characters and you make players choose the lesser of evils.
I don't mind if there's like a story justification for like a little bit that you lose access to someone for a bit, but like this game was 30 hours before you could ever choose your party.
Before you could choose your party.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I said, by the time I got that option, I made my party. I played like an hour and I was like, I'm done. I can't. I don't. It didn't
So,
change anything for me. So which one of these two gets to stay?
and I would
What changed in
say
13 too?
I would say 13 graphic wise was pretty nice at the time. It looked pretty good. Like it's a good looking game, but not much else.
Cinematically, I would say that 13 was very, very well done.
Yeah.
Kind of like 10. 13 was the 10 of that console, except, yeah, actually, yeah, it was all kind of weird, except 10 had a great combat system and 13 did not. They both had really goofy, kind of not great characters.
Yeah, the combat in 10 is way better. 13 too, I think, again, this is talking from memory. It's not like I replayed this game. I think I liked the combat in 13 too a little bit more. It was a little bit better. It wasn't any harder, I don't think. It was still pretty brain dead, but
Did you do the same exact technique?
I don't think you could. Because in that game you have like 2 characters and you recruit like monsters as the third character. I'm pretty sure. It kind of has like a little Pokemon thing going on.
Goody gumdrops.
Like I'm pretty sure you kind of capture monsters in that game.
Little Monster Hunter action for you. Okay.
And you play as some dude. He's looking for the sister. It's a whole. It wasn't as linear. I mean, it was still pretty fucking linear, but it wasn't as linear. It was a.
I hated how linear
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 13 was.
Yeah, it was awful.
You would literally my and it was like at about the 25-hour mark, and I'm like in a facility, and it's just a straight path. Everything would be like one corridor in a big open, like, you were like in some sort of a centrifuge or something, like this giant
Yeah.
silo with like a narrow little ramp that you were on walking around, and then there would be like a path to the right that would lead directly to a chest in sight from you turning. Like you would look down the path and see a chest at the end of it, like, oh, I guess I'll walk down there and grab that real quick. That was like the side content. I was like, really? It was like so casualized, I guess, maybe.
It was. It really was.
Coming out of like 10 or even 12.
Yeah.
The MMO style one.
Mhm.
You know, I had infinitely more fun with 12. I had so much fun with 12. I had to play through it twice.
Wow.
But that's a story for a different podcast. That would be in the best of JRPGs for PlayStation 2. And I don't know if anything like that exists, so
Probably not.
mm-mm. All right, well, I mean, you tell me that this is your game. It sounds like you're the master of it. You
Like,
figured it out.
honestly, like, gun to my head, I would kind of lean towards 13 too. I enjoyed more, but I don't know if that's true. Maybe I'm like misremembering. Is that possible? I really did not like 13's combat. I really hated it. No, fuck
Well,
it.
the fact that you like 13-2's combat more is already
Let's go 13 too. I think
13-2.
maybe it's a bad pick. Maybe it's a meme, but I think for me, 13-2 in my memory just was slightly better. Not fantastic, but slightly better.
Okay. Fair.
Do we have 10
All right,
games now?
so I think we're at 10 and no duplicates. Are we
Look at
looking
that.
at a top 10 list with no duplicates? Are we done? All right, guys, this is it.
That's it.
All right, well, Paul, let's read down the remaining games on the list. A lot of these we haven't even talked about yet.
We
And I'll
got
start. Valkyria Chronicles will be the first game that we have remaining. Then Eternal Sonata, Resonance of Fate, Tales of Xillia, Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel, Ni no Kuni, South Park, Stick of Truth,
God.
Final Fantasy 13-2, White Knight Chronicles, and Star Ocean, The Last Hope.
Okay, I need you to tell me what is Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel.
So apparently it's one of these things that we just missed the boat on it. The Legend of Heroes series has been around for a while, but it was mostly Japan only.
Okay.
It plays apparently not that dissimilar from like a Persona, where you have a town thing. You're like high school or
Okay.
academy students.
I'm liking what you're putting down. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a relationship meters that you build, and then there's a reoccurring dungeon that you kind of keep going into. And apparently the story is top tier. It's like more, that's the emphasis. And there are like 20 games in this series. Trails Beyond the Horizon, Trails from Zero, Trails of Cold Steel 3, Trails of Cold Steel 4.
Oh, so there's multiple.
It's all Legends of Heroes, and then there's a bunch of trails at the, you know what I mean? It's like a Legends of, Trails of, insert generic terms here. Cold Steel, Blue Skies.
But how many Cold Steel games are there? Just one?
4.
4. Okay.
At least.
Wow. Okay. So it's
There's Song of the Ocean.
So it's a turn-based Persona-like, is what you're telling me.
Yes.
Okay.
With apparently a very heavy emphasis on the storyline, which plays out more of like a war story.
Okay.
Heroes on both sides or whatever. I don't know how they present it, but
yeah,
my understanding is that these games are of very high caliber as far as like the storyline, character development, stuff like that. Again, I just kind of missed the boat. I didn't even hear about these games until years after they were a thing.
Now, can we put a game on the list that neither of us has played? That's my question.
I would say no, because I'm basing this metric off of Metascores, or
Yeah.
So Legend of Heroes is out.
Okay.
Sorry, but if you want a recommendation from us, if there ever if you played all the other ones on this list and you were wondering what that's about, apparently it's probably worth your time. Is
Okay.
my understanding.
Honorable mention.
Honorable mention.
Okay. So put the game that neither of us has played, I suppose, as number 10.
Did you play the South Park game?
I did play the South Park game.
Okay,
Yeah. Did you play the South Park game?
I did not.
Okay.
Would that automatically land at 9 for you? I can't imagine it being that good.
I think it's better than some of the other games on this list.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we can talk about it. I'm not gonna grade it right now, but like, yeah, it's a fun little turn-based take on spoofing JRPG formula in South Park. It's actually
I
pretty
assume for
fun.
that most of the things that I found were like the bit humor.
Sure, yeah,
A lot of the animations. Growing up, one of my friends and I, we'd talk about making like an RPG that would just be like a play on all RPGs. But like we were talking about making like the joke, and I think that this kind of captured a lot of that.
yeah, definitely, yeah.
So okay, South Park.
It's good.
So we're still that's not even we're not even placing that yet. Okay, so
I
let's
wouldn't.
look at the.
If we're trying to find our number 9, I do not agree that this is number 9. No.
Okay,
What about
White Knight Chronicles. Tell me about that
Yeah,
because that's
that
another one
was
I
that
don't
was.
have any. I got nothing on that.
White Knight Chronicles is basically like a Final Fantasy 12 style combat system.
Ooh.
So it's kind of MMO-ish in a sense, which has its pluses and minuses. I don't like that type of combat personally. I find it kind of boring. But I did play it. I did beat it. I did I thought the game was okay.
Okay, I mean that's God bless you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I managed to get through Final Fantasy 12, but that was it. I was like, I don't like this combat at all. I don't like the gambit system. I don't like doing any of this crap.
Yeah, so I didn't beat FF12 um because I didn't play it on PS2. I tried FF12 like maybe 5-6 years ago now, and it was rough, and I did not stick to it. And I feel like White Knight Chronicles, if I played it today, I would drop it pretty quickly as well. It was okay for its time, and I think that's a number
Sounds
9
like
game.
that's a number 9 game if I've
Yeah,
ever heard
I
one.
I think so. All right, so why don't you tell me something about Star Ocean: The Last Hope? A sequel to one of your favorite games of all time.
I can tell you, I'm protecting that game.
Well,
It's not going to be 8.
Hey, Chris, spoiler alert! It's top 10, so you don't have to
No,
protect
I want
it.
that to be in top 5, baby.
Okay.
That's a lot. I'm gonna have to speak a lot on that game. So let's move on to something else. Let's how about Ni no Kuni? Because I didn't really get into that, so maybe you can.
Yeah, it's a cute little monster catcher JRPG.
Did that also come out on 360? Was that a simultaneous release?
Um, I think so. Yeah.
I think so as well because although I've never played on, like, I don't own that game, but I remember kind of seeing like the little goofy, what did they call that guy? You know who I'm talking about. Like there was the kid and then there was the goofy thing. Was it that thing
Yeah.
called Ni no Kuni?
Yeah. His
Okay.
little Pokemon. Yeah, like
Yeah, his little Pokemon guy. Like I
Yeah.
remember him with the nose lantern and he would use that to appear and disappear and stuff.
Yep.
Like I remember details about this game.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember anything else about it. I couldn't tell you about the combat. I couldn't tell you about another character in the game. So I don't. It might have been one that my buddy was playing that I kind of just absorbed a little bit of. What was your experience?
I didn't beat it. I did play it. I just found it kind of boring after a while. It was one of those things where it's kiddish, like it's a kiddish story. It's a little bit like Grace's Death. The power of friendship prevails.
Yep.
It could be a number 8 for me, honestly.
Over Stick of Truth? How about we decide number 8 right now between number 8 and 7 is probably going to be Ni no Kuni and South Park, right?
I think South Park is more fun than Ni no Kuni for me, personally.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? I'll take that. They were both what's trailblazing ideas, right? getting Studio Ghibli involved, which is a major anime studio. They did like masterpiece works. And then South Park, we know those guys. Like they have their own accolades. It's a little bit more lowbrow, admittedly. Like I wouldn't reference them and their humor styles as being necessarily prolific, but it's funny.
Yeah, it
So
was pretty
yeah.
funny. It was well made for what it was.
All right. So we got our bottom four, which is good. Now we're starting to get into the shit.
we
We're
need to
starting to get
talk.
into the shit.
We need to talk about Resonance of Fate.
Yep, we do have to talk about that. I might have forgotten that it was on the list where it was, and it may actually our 7 and 8 might be different.
Because I don't know if that game is any good.
That game is so difficult to hate and like all at the same time, mostly because it was so confusing.
How would you describe the combat system to someone who's never played Resonance of Fate? What do you do?
Resonance of Fate had an interesting combat mechanic where there were priming weapons and then there were damage weapons. So enemies had health bars that could be primed with like automatic weapons, like submachine guns that did no real damage. Like you couldn't kill enemies with it, but it did massive, proc damage or whatever.
Yeah, it was like a blue bar on
a
health.
blue bar that you would have to melt first.
Mm-hmm.
And then you would use like a pistol to finish them off. So at the highest level of the game, which I'd probably say I was playing at a pretty high level, I was using a gun. Also, you could modify your weapons by putting attachments on them, but the attachments didn't have to make sense. So, like, visually, it would be like a banana gun. You'd have like a barrel that's pointing back at your own face
Yeah.
that gives you like an extra, 40 points of prime damage or what. It was, but it was fun because that meant that it removed like the limitations of that. So you could have like crazy, weird combinations of shit like that wouldn't normally work, spiral guns and all that.
Yeah, the
And it would be
customization was
effective.
quite good, I would say, on guns.
Well, not good, but certainly
Expensive,
expressive,
yeah,
expensive. Something.
there was a lot going on with it.
There was some moving parts, a lot of moving parts, and then once you maximized your goofy spiral gun, the best course of action on the start of any battle would be to set your character on and also a semi turn based. You would have to like choose a movement option, and the character would attack enemies while they were moving.
Yep.
You also had one jump that you could do that would give you like a wider AoE, kind of like with your attacks. So the best strategy in the game was to take a character that had dual submachine guns, run them straight down the middle of the battlefield, jump. Fire your guns and spin, doing all the prime damage to all the enemies in the area, and then immediately follow it up with one character with a pistol.
Yep.
And wipe the entire map.
Yeah.
That was the gameplay flow.
Sometimes you would run into a water enemy and stops your run, I'm pretty sure.
And it stops you dead in place and you can do nothing, which is why the jumping mechanic, the platforming was actually kind of important. If you jump too early or too late, you would kind of mess yourself up. But the enemies weren't moving really while you were doing it. So you had to like misplay to do it. You know what I mean? Like you would have to accidentally hit the button early or late. It wasn't like there was all sorts of mechanics in your way that you had to like deal with. My biggest problem with Resonance of Fate were the compounding, nonsensical things on the screen at all times. All the story made no sense.
Zero sense. Yeah. You couldn't follow it.
It was played straight. I had to read like the story afterwards to even understand. I don't even know where they parsed this out from, but
user manual, maybe. I don't know.
I certainly nothing in the gameplay or the story, because you were like running from city to city, talking to like lunatic type of people, like just really quirky, weird.
I don't think you run from city to city. I'm pretty sure you're like on the tower. You just keep climbing up. Right?
Sure, biome to biome, I guess, because why I say city to city, each floor that you would go on would be a biome, hex grid style, right?
Yeah.
Then you would try to move and you'd realize that you're not able to move anywhere on the map. And then you see you have to hit R2 and a menu pops up and it's a Tetris menu of color-coded hexagonal pieces. And you're like, what the hell is this? And then you realize that you have to place them in the grid to move your character around like the map, the floor that you're on. And then depending on what color you had or the shape or something, it would give you certain bonuses. So like it was a decent concept, like a decent reward system with the dumbest concept, I guess, is what it cool like rewards within it. The concept itself was so like stupid. Not being able to walk around until you in an action RPG. It was turn-based, but it was like action kind of. You know what I mean? Just none of the pieces really meshed well together.
I think the combat got really stupid because it just kept doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. Once you found out jumping's the secret to beating that game, you just keep jumping.
It was a platformer, all right.
Yeah, I think that game was kind of trash in a lot of ways, but top 10 for PS3.
Top 10 for PS3, definitely. But probably closer to like on this list. I don't know. I'd probably put it below Ni no Kuni.
I was about to say maybe last revision would be to put it at 8, right? And move the other two
8.
up.
Yep.
Yeah. I feel like that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably slightly better than the games that we have no experience in at all. Maybe. Probably not, actually.
But we can't. Yeah, that would be stupid. We can't.
We can't. We have to.
First of all, we should have games neither of us have played on the list, but there's only so many games on PS3 that are JRPGs.
There's only so many games. Well, and plus we excluded. And NIS Studios made 8,000 of them, so they you can't play them all. If I can't pronounce the game, I'm not playing it.
Okay.
All right. So in our bottom 5, at number 6, we have South Park: Stick of Truth. At number 7, Ni no Kuni. At number 8, Resonance of Fate. Number 9, White Knight Chronicles. And number 10, The Legend of Heroes: Trails of Cold Steel 9.
Okay.
All right, so now we're in. That
was the easy part.
That was the easy part. Now we actually have to have some discussions.
Eternal Sonata. We haven't mentioned that one.
Eternal Sonata. That's a great one to pick.
Isn't that crazy that they made a JRPG about a fucking Frederick Chopin music composer who is in a coma, and that's the whole story? I thought that game was awesome. I
thought the game was fantastic.
It was so much better than it should be.
All the characters were fun. I don't really remember the story that much. How crazy is that? I remember the combat being extremely engaging.
Yep.
It was a timer-based combat. So on your turn, your character would start ticking down from like a 5-second window. And as many actions as you could fit into that time was what you did. So if you were really good, and it was free roam, so you could be running while you're doing that. You could be attacking while you're doing that. You could be casting your special moves. Yeah. Depending on the characters that you were using, you could essentially extend your turn. There were like multiple kind of like soft broken variations that we found. There was an archer chick that I found that I could stack headshots, would increase the timer gauge, so I could wipe an entire encounter if I just was accurate, if I was mechanically kind of good. There was and they all had cool names that were music notation.
They're all music
stuff.
related, yeah.
Yep. So like one of the girls, I think her name was Beat. She was like a frost fighter, and you could combo with her so quickly that you could build up her special gauge and then do like the cutscene, like the cinematic on every turn. So like there was like so many cool exploitable things, but the game it didn't break the game. The game was still challenging.
Dude,
and fun. Let's not.
I remember Frederick. One of his alts would make him scream in Polish like the White Eagle, Orzeł Biały, and I was like, what am I playing? This is fucking like, this is insane. Why did this Japanese studio made a game about him? Like, it's so bizarre. It's one of the weirdest stories I've seen from coming from Japan. Like, really, like, I don't know how they thought of this, but it was cool, dude. This game was really sweet, and the biggest plus of the co-op of the combat is the fact they had co-op.
Yes, and the co-op only combat. Also worth noting, and I didn't realize this. This is a Trius game. They were called Tri Crescendo.
I think it's like a sister company. Yeah.
But the composer is still my guy. He's the Tales of guy. He's the Trius guy, Motoi Sakuraba.
Yeah.
That's why the music was so good.
I mean,
the music was also incredible, and it was like classically influenced.
This game kind of feels like a Tales of game.
Yeah, it feels like they were designing like characters in an engine. Like all the combat and all that feels like it's a different game. And then somebody was like, "Yeah, let's insert this storyline in there, and these are the characters."
Yeah. This game is really cool. I think it's way higher than 5. So for now, let's put it where we'll decide the numbers later. But for me, it's pretty high up there. I really like Eternal Sonata.
It's probably top 3 for me.
Also, I'm pretty sure this was a PS3 exclusive.
Oh wow! So it's a true. it is a true Retrowars best of PS3.
Sorry, I just checked. It was also on 360. So
I was gonna say I think I played it on 360 the first time.
Maybe. I played it on PS3, but yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that's Eternal Sonata. That didn't help.
All right. Well, it didn't help. We just discussed. We figured out it's a great game.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's talk about Valkyria Chronicles.
I mean, it's the best JRPG on PS3. If we want to get real about it.
Oh, is that your save? Are you pulling your save card on that?
It's my favorite game on PS3. Probably like top 3. Yeah, I love that game.
All right. Well, hey, listen, this is your show. I'm gonna have to pick up in a minute here, so you might as well tell us a little bit about this game.
I mean, what is there not to like? The graphics were phenomenal at the time. The cell shading in that game was awesome.
Yep.
The combat was a lot of fun. It's like a it's
XCOM
not turn
style.
Yeah, it is XCOM. Yeah, I guess it is kind of an XCOM style. You run around the map.
It ends up kind of playing out like a tactics, but rather than moving single spaces on a grid, you're free roaming a certain distance.
You have a bar again.
So it's the same idea.
Yeah. You have a bar, like
it feels
in
more
Sonata,
actiony.
but instead of like your combat being the bar, it's your movement in this one. And once the movement bar runs out, you can only start shooting. Then, for example, they have like different classes. They have like the rifle guys. They have the lancers. You have a tank. You upgrade the tank. It's a JRPG with a tank. I mean, I don't know, dude. Everything about this game was awesome. The villain, the Valkyria herself, was awesome.
Alicia was great. She became the Valkyria. I don't think you ever get control of her, which actually right? Am I crazy? She shifts.
You do in DLC.
She's on the battlefield on your side. Oh, in DLC. Got it.
They made DLC where you play literally as the bad Valkyria. Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I did like that they never they kept Alicia. You know, she
helps in like one battle as when she's like knocked out and she wakes up as Valkyria for the one battle. It's mostly a cutscene, but yeah.
Correct. Well, yeah, her turns are just her walking forward on the battlefield and killing anything that kind of comes across.
One-shotting everything. Yeah. Yeah.
Which was. It was great that they included that in the gameplay because it was part of like the turn order and all that. So it's like it was super intense.
It was.
Because at first you're mad that you don't have control of her, and then you're like, oh, but never mind. She's cool. Like she's super powerful.
The characters
and
were
then
great.
They just took it away.
I even liked the stupid side characters. Like that sniper chick was cool as shit.
Maria. So
Yeah, like this game just it had everything. For me, it had everything. The music was pretty good. Not the best, but pretty good. Um yeah, I love that game. One of the only games I've ever bought a special edition of once because they remade it for PS5/PS4.
mhm.
Um, and I bought like the special steelbook edition of this game just because it was my favorite PS3 game. And this game was a PS3 exclusive. Like there was no other way to play it for a very very long time until it came out on PS4 later. So
And how did it hold up?
I platted it. I loved it. Yeah, the second time was just as fun. It was really good.
All right. Well, what are the drawbacks? I need some negatives.
The combat does get samey near the end there. Um, to get 5 stars, oftentimes it was like pretty bullshit. Like you have to kill all the enemies, but there will be like literally sometimes be invisible enemies that you have to kill. So without a guide, it's not like a thing you can do like at all.
Okay, that's yep.
Um, but I mean, those are trophy hunting bullshit
Yeah,
challenges.
I mean, I recall even when we were playing it that there were missions getting towards like kind of nearing the end of the game that felt very kind of drawn out
Yeah, they were long.
or gimmicky.
Yeah.
I recall being one where you were playing like cat and mouse, kind of in a grid of buildings, and they had enemy tanks that were moving between and if they like caught you in the crosshairs, they would like shoot. You know what I mean? There was like weird kind of conditional fights.
I think the
A
game
couple of them.
was also pretty cool that it had permadeath. Yeah, I mean, it's like such a my up my valley type of game. Like, yeah, if I think of like what some of my favorite PS3 games, like not even JRPGs, but in general, like this game is up there for sure. Yeah, it's great. Unfortunately, they never made sequels to it, so that's a bummer.
Oh, really? They never made anything? Not
They
even a spiritual? I
they
could have sworn they
they
did.
did
No?
they did. They're all terrible. Yeah,
Oh, I know all about that.
they're all bad.
I know all about that.
Like 2 and 3 was like a PSP game. 4 was a PS4 game. I played that one, and it sucks. And then they made like some terrible one that looked awful in a different style. It was like a hack and slash thing. Anyway, that doesn't matter. This game, it's really good. We need to talk about Star Ocean.
All right. Star Ocean 4: The Last Hope is the most watered down version of Star Ocean 3 till the end of time that you could hope to play.
Okay, in a good way or a bad way?
It's watered down. When have you enjoyed anything watered down?
Well,
It's today. Are you on a diet? I don't want to enjoy good games. My doctor tells me I'm getting too much dopamine as of late.
yeah, I need to watch it.
Yeah. No, it basically it took all the concepts of Star Ocean 3 and kind of redid it, just not nearly as good.
Hmm.
All the characters were a little lamer. The combat was a little lamer. The graphics somehow were a little lamer. I don't even know how that's possible. But it had co-op and it was fun. And
Oh, really?
yes. It had co-op, it was fun. It had a combat mechanic called the blind side system that encouraged you to do like dodging. Like, I think we were talking about Star Ocean 3 and you would play it a little bit and you're like, "Oh, there's a dodge thing and it's useless." In this one, you would use that to create a blind side which would give you an animation and your character would like dart back, slide back a little bit and then run around behind them.
Okay.
And you would have like an advantageous position type of thing.
Yeah, sure. All right, that sounds okay.
That ended up being kind of but that ended up being the way that you play the game.
Mm-hmm.
You only, as soon as battle starts, you just start dodging side to side, trying to catch a blind side, and then you can play the game. So I don't know how to feel about that. The
I didn't play it.
characters, you didn't play it at all?
No, I got nothing on this one.
The characters were a little quirkier than 3 and not in the good way. Like, they were all just kinda,
I don't. I don't
your
know.
main character was named Edge Maverick, I wanna say, and he was like "Alright, guys, let's go get him!" That type of, like, plucky, shrill voice protagonist.
Right.
Then it was, like, the romantic interest was, like, the girl next door type of, quiet. Her name was, like, Remy, I wanna say, or something like that. She was, like, a little archer chick. Nothing, like, special about her. I don't even know if they had any, like, romantic elements to it. I just know they were together from the start. Then you get some goofy characters that end up having, like, fun gameplay changing stuff. You got a cat girl that had, like, the best blind side in the game. You got a mech dude named Bacchus that had, like, a special move that would put a big, like, sphere, like, into the onto the map that would just do a bunch of damage, like, many, many hits. I don't know, but the side content was it was there, but it was weaker than in 3. I think the biggest problem I had was that it was such a step down in quality and effort and everything from 3 that I was just kind of a hater.
Yeah.
If I had played it blind, I don't know.
Right, but you wouldn't. Like, you played it because you played 3 and you wanted to see a follow up.
But I would have played it. I mean, co-op
Yeah,
action RPG, it plays like a Tales. I would have played it. If
that
it
is
had a
pretty
different
cool.
name,
Yeah.
if it had a different name, I probably would have enjoyed it actually more.
Right. If this was like Infinite Undiscovery.
If this was Infinite Undiscovery, I'd be like, oh, okay, there weren't that many discoveries, but at least like the combat was kind of cool and quirky. And yeah,
So you don't love this game, is what I'm hearing. Like, it's okay, but it's not like your favorite.
but it's a pretty solid game. I mean, I'm shitting on it a lot, but their storyline got a little weird. Storyline was they did the friendship thing.
Lots of power of friendship on this list.
Yeah, they did the friendship thing. Literally, the final boss was like a member of your party.
Okay. They did that in
Right.
Eternal Sonata as well.
Correct. Yep. This was a little different. This wasn't like that full closure and the dream type of thing, but this was a little different.
Fun little tidbit about Eternal Sonata. I played it with a buddy of mine, and he was playing as Frederick.
Frederick.
And he fucking loses the character on the final fight. Like, wow, that sucks.
I'm so glad, and I thought that they did this intentionally. That Frederick's moveset was kind of lame compared to a lot of the other characters that you were picking up. So there was never really a driving want to play as him, other than him being the protagonist. But did you remember that? He fought with a cane.
Yeah.
And he did like weird like J slash motions.
Yep.
He had a soft heal. He wasn't like a good healer. He had a soft heal. He just had like not that great of stuff. I think very later on he got like some dark elemental stuff or like some really weird powerful.
And his special was good. Like, I remember him spamming the special a lot. Like the cinematic specials they had.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, that's a fun.
That was pretty funny. That's by the way, that might be one of my least favorite concepts in a game.
Taking away your character for the final fight.
Taking away characters that you have playable that you're able to build.
Yep.
It should be, and I know they can't do it because it would be kind of story breaking. If you get a character in your party and you can't put any equipment on them or take any equipment off, that character is temporary. But in like Tales of Symphonia, you got like the cool badass swords guy in the desert, and you're like, this is my guy forever, Prados. And then you keep him for like 10 hours.
Yep.
And then when you get to a part and you're like, all right, it's time to do it. And he's like, all right, kid. Turns out I'm a bad guy.
Yeah.
Next time we meet, we're enemies. And then he walks away. It was literally like that. It
Yeah,
wasn't.
it was.
It was a goofy
Yeah.
cutscene.
I think a game that did it well was Expedition 33. I think they did a pretty good. Like, hey, here's the new guy. You're not too sad about it.
Correct. Expedition 33 did that significantly better. Actually, so much better that the replacement character was better than the character that.
Yep.
Which actually they did the same in Tales of Symphonia, but you got that character way too late.
Mhm.
Zealous was the replacement, and he was better only because he had multi hits as opposed to Kratos. All of his attacks were one hit, and Zealous was 2 hits. Better for comboing, hit stun stuff, but.
So what's our number 5?
Anyway. Whew. All right, let's.
Because for me, number 5 is between FF13 or Star Ocean.
It's 13 too. It's 13 too. Star Ocean. And we're both kind of in the same boat with this. You know what? I would actually. I don't know. I would give you. I don't. If you think that Final Fantasy 13 was probably a better game than Star Ocean: The Last Hope, I would give that to you.
I don't know because I didn't play the other
that.
one, and it's not like I'm a big fan of Final Fantasy 13 too. But it was alright. It was better than 13 a little bit. A little bit.
I would probably enjoy Star Ocean more just because it was a real game. Like,
yeah,
it was better than Final Fantasy 13. Final Fantasy 13 2 had a better production budget, better IP.
Right.
But I think Star Ocean 4 was a better game, but it was literally like 2 points lower on a grading scale than Star Ocean 3. Right. A game that came out years before it on an older console.
All right, let's do 13 on 5. Yeah, I think.
Okay, yeah. And Star Ocean can be 4.
Has to be 4. Yeah, I'm not putting higher than any of the other ones.
I wouldn't either. Actually, this is getting easier than I thought.
I honestly would. Well, no, I wouldn't. I was gonna say something blasphemous, but I can't. I can't do it.
No.
I was about to move South Park higher than both of those.
Ooh.
I know.
The worst part is those 3 games are all kind of. They're good in their own way.
Yeah.
But not quite polished enough to land like.
They're not top 3.
Eternal Sonata.
Yeah. They're not top 3 at all. Okay.
To get 4, 5, and 6 sorted out, I would have to like jump back into the games for a little bit and just see how they play. A little trip down memory lane. Yeah. And they probably all feel kind of bad, to be honest.
How about this? Since you didn't play either of those, I'm gonna put South Park 5, Final Fantasy 6.
Okay.
I think that sounds more correct in my head.
I'm an FF13 hater, so
it's not a great game. Okay.
Wow, we're down to the wire.
We got 3 left.
Well, yeah, not down to the wire. We're down. We're getting there. Okay.
You know my number 1 pick is Valkyria. So what's your number 1 pick?
I know we should have let Tales of Vesperia on this list because then we would actually have a debate. Valkyria might take it. It's between Valkyria and Eternal Sonata.
Same for
Tales
me.
of Xillia goes down. That can be number 3.
Yep.
Tales of Xillia. I mean, we can talk about it a little bit. Tales of Xillia. Is there anything else that we really need to?
We talked a bit about it when we did the Tales versus stuff. Yeah, it's a good game and it's a fun co-op. It's a fun co-op. Like, to me, the combat in this one was pretty fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Actually, what was his name again? Not Loot. The guy. Shit. What was this guy's name?
I don't have
Played as Xillia, and I've said his name like 3 times now. Jude,
yes.
Yeah, he was like a librarian that
he
was like but he fought like Jeet Kune Do or something. Like he was a fist fighter.
Yep.
Yeah, he was fun to play as,
He was.
and I think that Zillia was also good. Like the characters all felt fun. The combat by now, and I correct me if I'm wrong, but earlier co-op in Tales games was very, very rough. Well, just rough for player two. You had
Yeah.
no camera control, and because the camera would shift itself to align with player one, you might be at a weird angle where left, right, up, and down, like you're not sure which direction you're moving in when
Correct.
you're pressing a direction.
Yep.
They solved a lot of those problems by Zillia.
Yeah, Zillia cleaned it up.
Like I recall the combat feeling fun and not having a ton of bullshit of like the I don't know where and like getting killed because you're facing the wrong way doing a move or something like that. And that happened a lot
All the
in
time.
all of the Tales games.
Yes.
I don't recall that being much of an issue in Zillia.
Yeah.
I had a really good time.
I have
I
fond
wish I
memories of
remembered
combat.
more about it.
Yeah. I don't
I
remember
don't
the
know why
story.
I don't remember.
But I don't remember the story almost at all, but I remember the combat being highly enjoyable. And we did a lot of side shit in it. Like it played good, it felt good. Would you say Zillia has better combat than Sonata?
Better combat than Eternal Sonata?
That's a tough one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say yes, just because I think it's more engaging.
I think it's deeper, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little deeper, but Eternal Sonata is one of those things where it felt tuned really tight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You only have 4 or 5 seconds to act in a turn, and they go by quick.
Yep.
Like I felt like I was FGC mashing. I mean, I was like fighting game, doing inputs.
Yeah.
Like you had to get your
You gotta
speed
maximize
down.
that. Yeah, you have to
Yeah,
max
it
it.
was a real min max type of game.
Yeah.
But you were never really broken in any of them, so I don't know.
I think the
They both
problem
felt really
with
rewarding.
I think problem with Sonata for me was there's not much, if any, side content.
Agreed. Huge problem.
Yeah.
I'd actually forgotten about that. You're right. There might be one extra side boss that you fight or something like that.
There's
But
not much. Yeah.
It was very, very light.
Yep.
But I mean, Eternal Sonata is still a better game.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. The list might be. It might be done. It might be it as is. I could probably give Valkyria. I thought we had such a great time with that game.
Dude, yeah. Super fun memories of it. And I replayed this one. Like, I replayed it, like, a couple years back. Probably, like, 8 years ago now, but, like...
That's, like, just the other day. Most of these games I haven't played in 15, 20 years.
Dude, like, Valkyria, like, really holds up. Like, really, really well.
Well, that's the thing. You'll notice that these top 3 games that we picked all have, like, kind of similar graphical styles.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, those graphics hold up.
They do.
When you have, like, cell shaded or whatever they call that, anime style.
Yeah.
It tends to stand the test of time. Yeah, I don't know, Valkyria Chronicles. What do we...
I don't think there's
Is there a competition between Eternal Sonata and Chronicles? Other than we talk about side content.
To be fair,
Valkyria didn't have a ton of side content either.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't.
A couple side missions, I think, that you could take on.
It has a few extra missions. That's about it. Yeah, it's light. It is one of the first games with like DLC on PS3. So that was alright. But it's not great DLC. It's like for the fans to play as Valkyria for a little bit,
right?
They knew
right.
They're like, hey, we should have included this in the base game, but here you go, just play a couple missions as her. That's fine. I think it's probably the most definitive PS3 JRPG for me. Yeah, Eternal Sonata is up there. Like, Eternal Sonata in co-op was tons of fun, and Tales of Zillia in co-op was a lot of fun as well.
The only thing that would probably change the orders at all would just be the co-op factor.
Yeah.
If you had to take the co-op factor involved, I would actually drop Valkyria to number 3
Okay.
and just shift it up one.
I think Tales of Xillia might have better co-op than Sonata. I think there's just more going on there in that game.
There is a little bit more going on. Yeah, and the combat is more of a focus in Xillia, whereas Sonata, I don't feel like it was. I just felt like I fought a lot in Xillia and not as much in Sonata.
Yeah.
I don't remember a lot of boss encounters in Eternal Sonata.
No, I couldn't tell you. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't. I guess we forgot to take these things into account. I mean, as a product, I would say that Valkyria Chronicles is the best out of them.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As an experience,
dude, but also like Valkyria was made by like Sega. Like they don't make JRPGs those days or these days. Like it's just like a hidden little gem. Like that game is awesome, man.
the Sega, you know what? That should be a whole different list for favorite Sega games, but Sega made games, because that could include some real stuff.
Yeah.
And like modern stuff, not just Sonic the Hedgehog. But like the Yakuza stuff is all Sega.
I think I would put Xillia at second, though. I think it's just slightly better. I feel like if I went back and played both games today, I think Xillia would be more engaging. But man,
by yourself or with a friend?
With a friend. I wouldn't play either of these games without anyone else. Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to clarify.
I have never played a Tales of game by myself, so like it's just not gonna happen.
Gotcha. I think Eternal Sonata holds up better as a single player game. Like
I could see that. Yep, I could see that for sure.
Tales of Xillia, the combat ends up feeling, you want to have an extra player. You want to have somebody, because the CPU is never good in any of these games.
Yeah.
CPU always bad. So it's nice to have somebody else to do things, that won't run straight at the enemy. That's my job and the CPU's job. It's nice to have a friend that can be on healing. Yeah, so as a co-op experience, are we adding an addendum here?
No, we're not adding. No, we just need to agree which one's better. There's no addendum here. I think Sonata is cooler. Like I think it's more unique. I think it's just such an out there game.
Well, it certainly is more unique. It is the only one of its kind.
Yeah, but like you know Tales of Xillia. You know what I'm saying? Like the story in that game is crazy. It's out of nowhere. No one was expecting this game to be any good. Tales of is an established franchise. Like a lot of those games are pretty good. Eternal Sonata is just a hidden gem on those consoles. Also, I see why you were saying that Frederick sucks, and I was like, in my memory, he didn't suck, so I was looking into that, and apparently, if you played on Xbox, Frederick sucks. But on PS3 version, they added more shit to that version of the game because it came out. It came out 1 year later, and they altered him significantly.
Well, I guess they were smarter when they were doing it on Xbox, and they're like, "Yeah, if this guy is not." This is a pretty big reveal. We should make him not that playable. We should make him not fun.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with Sonata being 2 if you wanted to leave it like that, but Tales of Xillia was pretty good, dude. It's good.
Give me a little bit more on Xillia. What else? What's your favorite character? These are the problems.
Well, I only play as the chick. Like I played as them.
True.
Yeah, come on, it's a Tales of game. You choose one character, you can play as that character for almost the entire game.
Yeah, and then once you get a new character, you try them out real quick, and then and the problem is that you never pick a healer or a caster. You have to pick.
That eliminates like half the cast.
Half the cast.
So,
although I think I did play a caster in 1, and boy was it joyless. Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah,
for the record.
that's
And
not the
also
way
the
to go.
casters are fun because you get that one skill that lets you mash cast to do it faster. So your entire battle is spent running to a corner and mashing circle as fast as you can.
Yeah,
Real engaging.
it's the good shit right there.
That's the good shit. I'll leave it as is.
Xillia
If that
has
were a
more
different
side
Tales
content.
of, yeah, listen, you're just very lucky that we did not include Tales of Vesperia.
We couldn't.
Well, are we going to do PS4 next? Because I got.
That's when it gets a little bit rougher.
It won't be rough at all. Apparently, if that can only land on PS4, then it was going to be the top of one of these consoles.
I don't know if that's true. I don't think it would make the PS4 top one at all. I think there's better games.
No way.
Do you think
Name
Tales of
one.
Vesperia is the best Tales of game?
Yes.
Okay. You like it more than Berseria?
Yes. The only one that competes with it is Tales of Abyss.
I think you're looking at it with nostalgia. Like, I don't think Tales of Abyss holds up today.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
I'm telling you.
I mean, well, listen, if you can get around load times, multi-disc games, it was a multi-disc PS2 game.
That's not the issue. I think the combat is not. That combat on the PS2 was not. They didn't figure it out yet. Like, I would much rather play Xillia than Abyss. I would much rather play any of those than Abyss at this point.
Correct, but all together as a product and like the story, the characters.
Yeah, but it's a Tales game. You're mostly there for the combat and the extra challenges.
And the extra content. Tales of Abyss, I think, had the best bonus content. That was back when game companies gave a shit about that.
I agree with that. Like, that's a fantastic bonus content. Yeah.
I mean, it adds an additional game's worth of length to your play. Vesperia is just simply, it was like the best in every class. It has the best protagonist in the entire series. I wouldn't even put that up for debate. Yuri Lol is
there's a dog character,
cool as shit. Rapide. Well, the other, your sidekick, what was his name? Was it Guy? No, something Flynn. Flynn.
Yeah.
His name was Flynn.
Yep. Who is basically the guy, but yeah.
Correct. Yeah, you have your blonde buddy character. They both fight with swords. Yep. I mean, that game. Anyway, that could be a different list, but well, I'll just say we're fortunate that we didn't have to keep that in this list because I don't know if Valkyria could hold up to it.
Okay, I would fight for it. Yeah, I don't know if I would let you have this one. I gotta be honest.
Yeah, well, listen, you'll have to save that battle for PS4, baby.
All right. I think that's a pretty good list. I don't hate this list.
I mean, I don't hate the top half of it. The bottom half's a little confusing.
I should give us a quick review from the bottom. What we got going.
In the number 10 position, we have The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel. In number 9, we have White Knight Chronicles, which I still don't know what that game's about, but that's okay. It's only number 9.
It's fine.
Number 8, we have Resonance of Fate, which I actually know even less about than White Knight Chronicles, and I played the entirety of that game. Then we have, at 7, Ni no Kuni, which I vaguely remember the weird goblin thing with the nose lantern, and it had like a monster catcher thing. Cool. Final Fantasy 13-2 at number 6, and that is the best of the bottom. Paul, why don't you take us on the top 5, baby?
Can't believe I'm saying it, but it's South Park Stick of Truth for number 5.
I see you spelled it wrong.
I did.
And it auto-corrected for me to strike.
Perfect.
Yes.
It's actually a better title, but that's okay.
Yes.
It's it's like the dark horse of the list. Number 4 is Star Ocean: The Last Hope, which is when we started this exercise, I thought this game is gonna be much lower. I gotta be honest. I didn't
You
think
know, I
I
think
didn't
it
think
hurt
you
that we
liked this
weren't
game.
able to include more Tales of, like, we can't include multiple in the same
Right.
series.
Yep.
Because
For
if that
sure.
were the case, then probably like 4 through 8 would be all Tales of games.
I mean, when you say that, we only had 3 Tales of games. We had
4 through
Zillia
6.
2, and yeah. But we didn't play Zillia 2, so that's the thing.
I would still put it on there. It's got to be better than Resonance of Fate. It's got to be better than Final Fantasy 13 too. It has to be.
I would probably believe you, but we didn't play it.
I would. I'm not a betting man, and I would still take that. I would take that gamble.
Number 3 is Tales of Zillia. Number 2 is Eternal Sonata, and number 1 is Valkyria Chronicles. And that's the list.
I feel like this one went way too quick. I feel like we were in agreement too long. Oh my god, for the PS2 one, we must have talked about Star Ocean 3 for an hour and Kingdom Hearts 2 for an hour independently.
No, I guess that's possible. Yeah, I feel like the PS3 just had less games. Also, we had to make way more cuts on PS2, if I remember correctly. So
yeah, we did.
Yeah.
And PS2 also did not have as many co-op experiences, whereas PS3 had a couple more.
That's true. Like PS3, better JRPG co-op console. Yeah, I think
Significantly.
yeah, totally.
That was the end of the couch co-op, shoulder to shoulder with your best bud, high fiving and playing games. Grab controller 2, friend.
Here's a Mountain Dew, and let's do this.
Yeah, let's see. Those days are gone. Or in our case, what were we doing? We were doing share play. You remember that? We would
Yeah,
have to
but that was
share
on
play.
PS4. That's later.
No. PS3 we did share play.
No.
Screen share, buddy. Absolutely.
It had to be PS4.
No.
Yeah. You're thinking of Resident Evil Revelations 2, which is PS4.
Is that the first game that we did screen share for?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Anyways, let's wrap this up.
Yeah. So anything to add to that? I mean, but I feel like we said kind of everything that we wanted to say. Is there anything that would, and we talked about problems in the games, is there any additions that would have changed any of these titles for you?
I don't think so.
Like Eternal Sonata having, I don't know, more weapon variety, even though I don't think that there wasn't much weapon variety in that game.
Not
I don't
really.
think it mattered.
Yeah.
That was more of that was more tactical. It was deciding what moves to use in what order as quickly as possible. Or maybe that would be the thing. Does Eternal Sonata need a longer turn time? Should it be 8 seconds rather than 4? Would that change it? And I'm just spitballing just in case. I don't want to leave any stones unturned. We're not coming back here.
I understand. This is like for the ages.
This is written in stone. This is chiseled.
I know. Listen, I'm happy with the list. There's definitely a world where I'm putting Zillia above Sonata in some categories, but Sonata is a great game. I think it's one of the best games on PS3 for JRPG. So yeah, number 2 makes sense. Okay, you know what a good argument for Eternal Sonata is? Like, if I was to tell someone to play either Tales of Zillia or Eternal Sonata, I'm telling them to play Eternal Sonata.
I agree. You can get through the story significantly quicker.
Yep.
It feels much more approachable with a one player.
There's other Tales games that are way better. So, yeah.
And I believe in Eternal Sonata, unless you were playing with 2 players, you would control each player's turn. In Tales of Zillia, you could only control one character at a time.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that's the list. I think that's it. I think we shut this down.
I think that's it. So we got Chris and we got Paul, and this has been the Retrowars PlayStation 3 best RPGs of all time. JRPGs of all time. We want to thank our sponsors
thank Craig.
Thank our Patreon.
Thank you, Craig.
Thank you, Craig.